Now we are going to study about the mechanism of urine concentration. You know that the GFR, that is the glomerular filtration rate, is as high as 180 liters per day. Now 180 liters per day, you can imagine as many as 90 Coca-Cola bottles that you have, 2-liter bottles, and nobody passes as much urine in their entire life, like every day. If we have to talk about every day, nobody passes this much urine. Now where does that glomerular filtrate go back? It is to be reabsorbed. So that reabsorption is basically the concentration of urine that is taking place, and for that we need to take a journey through nephron. Maybe that journey through a nephron helps us understand how the urine gets concentrated. When we talk about concentration of urine, that is the mechanism behind the urine concentration, it would involve the reabsorption of maximum fluid that became the filtrate during ultrafiltration. It has to be reabsorbed. So the maximum content being water has to be reabsorbed. At the same time, the electrons and the ions which have gone inside, or the electrolytes, not electrons, sorry, pardon me for that, the electrolytes that have passed into the filtrate, they are to be reabsorbed. So basically we are going to talk about reabsorption, and while we take the journey through nephron, we are going to see how the different parts of nephrons are involved in the reabsorption of a particular electrolyte, or a particular ion would be responsible for the reabsorption of a given ion or water in the case. So we are going to take a journey through the nephron. What is this entire journey through nephron about? We would see that this is our excretory system. We have the kidneys, we have the descending aorta, we have the ureters which bring about the urine into the bladder, and there is inferior vena cava. These two things, they bring the filtrate into the kidney, they bring the blood which is to be filtered. As we enter the kidney through this renal pelvis, what you are going to see is the components that a kidney has. Now it is having the renal artery, the renal vein goes inside, there is a renal medulla, there is a renal cortex, and inside each pyramid we have many nephrons. We are entering the cortex now, the renal cortex, and what you find over there is millions and millions of nephrons. Now taking each nephron, let us consider one nephron individually. What we see in a nephron is that there is a filtration unit known as Bowman's capsule, the C-shaped, cup-shaped Bowman's capsule, which has the arteries, a tuft of arteries inside it. There is a proximal tubule which leads to descending limb of loop of Henle. Then there is ascending limb. Then there is another convoluted tubule that is known as distal convoluted tubule, and it leads to the collecting duct. Now this part is present in cortex, and you have to remember this is cortical part of the kidney, while this loop of Henle often subtends into the medulla. Now what we have to see is that what happens inside the nephron. You see, this is the passage we are going to take, and there are the various particles that have been denoted. Water is being denoted by blue dots, and the sodium is by these grey ones, while the hydrogen ions are being shown. Now as this filtrate that has entered, it passes through the PCT. What you are observing over here is that the filtration, that is the taking back of water, is taking place. At the same time, hydrogen is being added, and sodium, little bit amount of sodium is taken back. Water is reabsorbed, sodium is reabsorbed, and hydrogen is being added. Then the filtrate has entered the ascending limb of loop of Henle. Over here, the reabsorption of water is taking place through the aquaporins, which are taking lots and lots of water outside. Now there comes the hairpin loop, and we enter the ascending limb of loop of Henle. In the ascending limb of loop of Henle, what you are going to find over here is, here it comes, the sodium channels. Lot of absorption of sodium and potassium is re-entering, while sodium is going out in order to maintain the gradient. So the sodium is also getting reabsorbed. When it enters, when this filtrate, you see lot of water has been reabsorbed over here, and the osmolarity is being maintained. When it enters the DCT, that is distal convoluted tubule, over here the more of sodium is reabsorbed, water is reabsorbed, chloride ions are being reabsorbed, and the filtrate enters the collecting duct. when it enters the collecting duct, over here, because there is lot of water due to the counter current mechanism that takes place in loop of Henle, the ADH, that is vasopressin, is a hormone. It regulates the reabsorption of sodium and water. If the ADH says that the water retention has to be made more, water would be taken more inside the, it would be reabsorbed, and if the ADH says that it is not to be reabsorbed, it would stop over there. So this is all that happens for the concentration of urine. To sum up, I would say that what we have studied in the reabsorption, in the concentration of urine, what happens is PCT, loop of Henle and DCT, they play an important role, and in the end, of course, the collecting duct also does the important role of reabsorption of water. There is a counter current mechanism that takes place, and that involves the osmolarity balance between medulla and cortex of the kidney, so that whatever there are two limbs of loop of Henle we had seen over here. See this is the limb of loop of Henle. These two limbs, they are responsible for maintaining the osmolarity. Whatever water content is present in the beginning, that has to be present in the descending limb, that has to be present in the ascending limb. And in the counter current mechanism, we have a capillary tuft that is running around, that is vasa recta, which is responsible for maintaining the osmolarity in the interstitium as well as inside the tubules. So inside the tubules, such is the osmolarity and such are the channels which are present all through the nephron, that there is reabsorption which takes place. In the PCT, we have to remember that most of the hydrogen ions and the ammonium ions, they enter into the tubule in order to maintain the gradient and in order to maintain the ionic balance. While when we move towards the end of the, that is the distal part of the nephron, maximum of water has to be reabsorbed, and in this way the concentration gradient, that is the concentration of urine, is done. And one thing you have to remember, that in the collecting duct, it is the ADH which plays an important role, and ADH is nothing but vasopressin, which is released from the hypothalamus. So this is all about the concentration of urine.